Hi everybody, it's Joey Remini here from Seeking Balance Australia. I'm a vestibular audiologist and I specialise in the recovery process of persistent dizziness or persistent tinnitus. And I really pioneer in helping people use digital resources. So I've developed a huge amount of videos, audios, PDF worksheets for you to explore to help you get the information you need to understand your body and to feel better. So what I want to do is walk you through the free resources I offer so you can make the best use of them. Now these could be for yourself, or perhaps you're a health professional. You might be a physiotherapist, audiologist, psychologist, GP, surgeon or neurologist, and you're referring clients to this site. So there's a lot of free resources for people to use, and I really hope that the free resources alone can answer most of your questions. So what I've got here is I'm showing my screen, and this is my homepage. And from here, you can either go directly to the free resources tab, or you can sign up to my newsletter and free starter kit directly from the homepage. But why don't we go to the free resources tab? And here you can explore and get started. So these resources are for anybody with vertigo or tinnitus, and it really does not matter what your diagnosis is. If you're feeling dizziness or you're feeling unwanted sensations or sounds in your body, then you're in the right place. Some of you will have had a full medical investigation, which is great, and some of you will still be a little bit unsure about your diagnosis and you're in the process of figuring it out. So these resources are for you, they're for your family members, and they're for your health professionals, for the support team, because vertigo and tinnitus is quite poorly understood. It's a vestibular audiology is a young field, and health professionals are learning at a really fast rate. So these are to help everybody get up to speed. So on this page, you can get access to the free starter kit, which is a 2-week program you can do at home, and I'm going to walk you through that in a tick. You can have a look at the different diagnoses that I commonly see. I've got access here to some audios of vestibular conferences and neurology conferences I have presented at. They're about 20 minutes each. And there's also 2 hours of webinars talking about mindfulness and the science behind recovery of persistent symptoms. So there's 2 webinars, 1 hour each. And then here we've got some research articles. Some of them are interest articles, really easy to read, and some of them are kind of heavier science, but there's a huge amount there for people to filter through if you're interested to learn about the science of recovery and some of the challenges that we face as an integrative medicine community trying to get the best outcomes. So on this page itself, I've got a link directly to my YouTube channel. There is a lot of information on my YouTube channel. And once you sign up to my newsletter or starter kit, you can even submit questions that you might have and that you want answered. So this is open to the public. It's a free resource. And if you've got questions, please submit them and I'll do my best to answer them. So that straight up, I've got a really useful video on understanding tinnitus and a lot of the myths and misunderstandings about tinnitus. So I highly recommend you watch that. Then I've got a bunch of interviews with experts. So Dr. Tim Blake is a colleague of mine who works in the Northern Territory as an emergency doctor. And often when people have sudden onset of hearing loss, tinnitus, or vertigo, so the sudden spinning and vomiting, you will go to the emergency, which is a great idea because the doctors will look at any really fatal conditions such as stroke. And so ruling out all of those medical conditions that need treatment is the way to go. But Tim sort of talks through the limitations of how the medical doctors aren't really there to give you that day-to-day recovery process. They're there to help you, reassure you that your body is safe and your body is healthy and that this is idiopathic or not necessarily vertigo that's understood of where it started or why. So looking at the doctor's limitations and perspective is really helpful for your own healing, because sometimes if we ask the doctors, get rid of this, how do I get rid of this, help me, and the poor old doctor has no idea how, then there's kind of like this mismatch of the doctor feeling like, well, I can't answer your question, I don't know what to do, and the patient feeling like, why can't they help me, what's going on here? So it's actually really important to know which questions to ask your doctor and which questions to ask other health professionals and which questions to ask yourself, because you actually have the answer inside of you. So what else do we have here? We've got a really interesting YouTube clip that's going to get you looking at kind of the importance of meditation, mindfulness, slowing down and actually reshaping the brain. So neuroplasticity has really phenomenal changes on our brain itself, and that's what we want. We want to harness this ability for our brain to change itself. Then I'm talking with a colleague of mine, Rich Bennett, who's an amazing psychologist. He's a really great guy, and he is passionate about helping elite athletes get the best performance. So we look at actually the similarities between having that chronic symptom and needing to be really brave sometimes just to get out of bed or go to work because there's social anxiety and you don't trust your body anymore, and you kind of feel like, do people think I'm drunk, or are they looking at me funny? So it's really brave to do daily tasks when you're in that situation. And we sort of look at the similarities between being an elite athlete and having to get up at 4 a.m. every day and train, and having anxieties about your performance. And so a lot of the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects that an elite athlete will go through, my clients with vertigo and tinnitus also go through in their own daily life. And that is a very empowering process. Then we've got the ear, nose and throat surgeon's perspective, Dr. Claire Azalea. She's a beautiful woman, and it's a really great interview worth watching. And I talked to two of my favourite vestibular physiotherapists, Arimbi Wanotto and Kate Murray, just looking at the physical rehab side of things. And we talk through some success stories and how it really is important that people get the program that they need and start a daily practice. And then lastly, there's an interview talking with David Shmulevitz, a neurologist who specializes specifically in vertigo and the nystagmus and the balanced brain. So looking at what we need, why it's important to get an MRI scan. And if you haven't done that and you're worried about your symptoms, it could be a really good idea to make sure you've got that medical information. So using online resources is a tool to support you. It's not going to replace medical investigations or one-on-one therapy if that's what you need. So with these free resources, take a look, swim around, get the information that serves you. Now I want to show you the Your Diagnosis page, where I take you through all of the a snapshot of some of the conditions that I work with. I work with a lot of vestibular conditions, autoimmune conditions, and neurological conditions. And some of the most common ones are positional vertigo, so BPPV, and I've had that twice, so this is very common. Then we've got inner ear infections like labyrinthitis or neuronitis, Meniere's disease, vestibular migraine. And we've got this brain fog, fuzziness, idiopathic dizziness or chronic dizziness, or even triple PD, so positional, postural, perceptual dizziness. These are conditions that I see a lot of. And then there's also superior canal dehiscence. I have some clients with that condition working with me one-on-one. Mal-Debachment, I see a lot of Mal-Debachment disorder, acoustic neuroma and vestibular schwannoma. And then lastly, I also have some information on this page about why can it be persistent? Why is it that it's not clearing up? And for some clients, it clears up elegantly and quickly within a day to a week or a month. And for other people, they seem to have it for years and years and years. So I look at some of the factors there. And then there's also an article on 5 common misunderstandings about vertigo for you to read. And as you scroll down, you can either listen to or read the information on a lot of these common conditions. Now, if your condition is not listed, it doesn't mean that it's not applicable or that these resources can't help you. But reach out if you've got questions, especially if you do have Hashimoto's or multiple sclerosis or anxiety, depression, any other type of condition which has symptoms of dizziness and anxiety. So you're very welcome to use these resources as well. So going back to the free resources, I want to show you now the conferences and the webinars. So when you click on this button, it will take you through to the British Society Audiology Conference from 2016 and also the Neuro-Otology Society Conference. So 20 minutes and 15 minutes each. And then as you scroll down, there's mindfulness for vertigo and tinnitus, and there's a 1 hour part 1 and another 1 hour part 2. There's a huge amount of resources and information in both of those. So you've got a lot of resources to use on this free page. And I might quickly show you the articles just so you know what it looks like. As you click through that one, I'm constantly adding to this, but there's some interest articles. There's articles I've been asked to write for blogs. There's science articles, there's articles from the world of psychology, from vestibular rehab, from mindfulness and meditation, neuroscience. So as you go down here, you can have a look at a lot of really interesting articles. So I'm going to show you through to the starter kit. Okay. So once you sign up to the starter kit, you'll need a username and password to log in. So first of all, you will have to sign up, which you can do over here by following through the prompts. Once you've signed up, this is what it looks like. You get 2 weeks to access the starter kit. You get access to the masterclass, which has a lot of high value information about neuroplasticity and how to get started with a daily practice at home. And I highly recommend you watch that. Watch it twice even. So from the starter kit, you then get further access to the YouTube channel. You can start your first mindfulness body scan home exercise. And I recommend that you try that once, twice, or 3 times a day. You know, really get used to it. Get used to sitting in your body and resetting those templates. There's a PDF sheet looking at 3 different types of vertigo and dizziness here. When you click on any of these links, they're going to take you through to the audio or to the PDF. There's a symptom questionnaire, which I encourage you all fill in. You want an initial baseline so you can actually look at your perceived disability and see if you're improving. And as the weeks and months unfold, keep redoing the progress questionnaires. And the progress questionnaires come through with the Rocksteady program, or you could just keep on filling in the initial symptom questionnaire if you're not doing the Rocksteady program. There's the Create Your Plan PDF, which people are emailing me saying it's helping them a lot. We've got the tinnitus strategies PDF. You can go through all of those strategies and implement them in your own life. Then I've also got another interview which was really interesting with Crystal, who is a coach in America who specializes in digestive problems and chronic digestive problems. And a lot of her clients have dizziness, tinnitus, or anxiety. And she wanted some strategies about how to calm the storm, how to self-soothe. That's a 30-minute interview worth listening to. Then there's a song I wrote on ukulele. I actually wrote it for Year 10 students, for 15-year-olds who were learning about body image and self-acceptance. And I used music as a way of bringing in mindfulness and demonstrations of self-compassion. So as you scroll down here, you're going to get access to a welcome note from me with a lot of really useful information, and then videos. So here's a video exercise to start with. It's very simple, but you know what? Simple works. And starting with simple is the way forward. So neuroplasticity does not involve meditating for hours on a bolster or doing vigorous, challenging exercises that make you want to vomit. So keeping it really simple and steady is key. And as you progress with Rocksteady, the full 12-week program, you get more and more video exercises to help you make this process more sophisticated. So there's the standing eyes closed, there's head movements and introducing vestibular ocular reflexes. And then I also start to look at some of the mind and the emotional spiritual, the mental, emotional, spiritual aspect, and looking at getting into beliefs. And if you can just jot down your limiting beliefs, you are so far ahead of the rest. So when you can start to see where you're blocked and where you're having emotional challenges, that's when you can actually just start to work through them, reach out, get support, journal it, do what you need. So that's a little introduction to the process. So the starter kit you'll have access to for all of those resources for 2 weeks. And if you want to go forward, you can try the 7 days of support, where you get 7 daily audios with me and you go even deeper into the process of the mechanisms of self-kindness and neuroplasticity and how they actually work together. And then, of course, you can also explore the Rocksteady, full Rocksteady program, which I hope everyone here who is experiencing dizziness and tinnitus, I hope you get the resources you need. And if that's covered in the free resources, then I'm a very happy person. But if you need more, I do recommend you go through the full Rocksteady process and the full Rocksteady program. Invest that 12 weeks into yourself and into your life. You will not regret it. It's a gentle process and you are completely in control of whatever it is you feel you need and whatever it is you choose to do. The exercises range from written exercises to videos to physical exercises to muscle tone and reflex building exercises to mental, emotional, self-soothing. There's sleep skills, there's working on anxiety, there's releasing muscle tension. So it's really holistic. So if you feel like you want to go deeper and you want that resource, Rocksteady is the next place for you to go. So I'm going to sign off there. If anyone is looking for one-on-one professional guidance, I'm happy to support you through a 6-month program. Take a look at Beautiful Balance or the personal retreats and contact me, because we will have a complimentary video call to see how I can best support you and if you're suitable to any of my programs. And for those of you wanting to chat with me just in an initial consultation one time, book an initial consultation directly from the website and I will talk to you on a video call soon. So all the best with your journey. Please make use of all of the free resources. They are there for you to enjoy and for your clients if you're a health professional. So I'm going to sign off there. all the best with your journey. Reach out, especially if you have a positive recovery case study that we can share with the community, because I believe sharing our human experience and our human stories and our human challenges is a really big part of collective healing. So all the best, and bye for now.